Hello, I'm Dean Karstens, and this is Dean's N-Scale Trains. Today I'm going to show you my next installment on my Conejos Valley Railroad, an N-Scale railroad that I've been building for about a year. I've started to put in buildings. I'm going to talk about that today. I've designed and built a station, passenger station, and a second freight station. They both have lights, which is a first for me. So here's the outline of this video, and I've defined these as chapters, so you can jump around if you want to. First, I'll show the 3D printed parts of the passenger station, then the freight station. I'll have some hints on how I painted the models, and then how I assembled the freight station, and then how I added LED lights. At the end, I'll show how I installed the freight station and the passenger station on my layout, and finally have some videos of trains running through the layout. Here are the 4 parts for the passenger station. We'll start with the base. As you can see, it has a raised portion that's designed to hold the body, so it fits there exactly, locates it. There's a hole there to pass the lighting electronic wires through. This is the main building. It has 2 freight doors, 2 passenger doors, 12 large windows. This is a little office space that's pushed out, which is common for a lot of the stations in the United States. In addition to the 2 large windows, it has 2 small windows on the side. This is printed out in resin to give higher resolution. This is the roof assembly, printed out in black PLA. And this is a piece that helps to locate it and also holds the lighting pieces. It fits there, is locked in place, and then it fits right over the body like that to help center it. Here's what it looks like, what the assembly looks like holding the 2 LED lights. It's got the 2 lights here, a resistor to cut down on the current, 2 wires leading out to the power supply. The lights are in series with the resistor. Here are the smaller pieces. These were resin printed to give greater definition and resolution. There's a dozen windows, 2 freight doors, 2 passenger doors, 2 small windows, and 2 black chimneys. These are the pieces for the smaller freight station. A base piece, a main body. Here I've started to paint it. It was originally in white. A roof piece and an insert piece to locate it and also hold the electronics, the lights. Otherwise it's similar to the larger passenger station, and it uses the same series of doors, chimneys, and windows. So to paint the models, I mostly use apple barrel matte, available from Amazon. It costs about 60 cents for a jar like this. Starting with the base, I paint that with granite gray. You can compare the painted side with the other side. This is the painted side. This is what the gray color looks like from the PLA, the gray PLA. Then For the bodies, I use two-tone. For the lighter color, I use khaki. For the green, I use Kelly green. And I'm kind of standardized on this for my Conejos Valley Railroad colors. To get the two-tone, I first paint the body khaki, the main part of the body khaki, and then I mask it off just a little bit above the windows with masking tape, and I spray the green. Comes out very nicely. This is what the main building looks like. This to the passenger station. For the roof, I use a darker green. This is English ivy green. And then the black for the it's a regular black for the chimney. So that's the roof of the freight station. This is the roof for the regular station, the passenger station. Colors look good together. I've also before painted this, a different version of the station. I used nutmeg brown for the lighter color and melted chocolate for the darker color. But as I said, I'm standardizing on these lighter colors. To paint the models, I use an airbrush, a master's airbrush. It's a single action. I don't find I need the double action for these models. To dilute the paint, I make up my own reducer, 1/6 of a part Windex, 1/6 of a part isopropyl alcohol, diluted up with distilled water to the 2/3 part distilled water with just a few drops of glycerin. For these thicker paints, I dilute them with 1 part of the paint with 2 to 3 parts of the reducer. And symbol of the freight station. Here are the small parts I showed before. As you can see, I've spray painted them the Kelly green. Put in 1 large door. One small door. And 2 windows. And I turn this over. Now we need to glue the light assembly. Put in a liberal amount of super glue and hold it. And super glue the building to the base, making sure it's tight. To keep light from passing through the walls, I painted the insides with dark black. When the LEDs come, they have two leads. One is the longer lead is positive, the shorter lead is negative. So the two, as you can see in the diagram, the two LEDs are connected in series. Power comes in with a red wire from the positive, goes through a 1000 ohm resistor to the positive lead of the first LED. The negative lead is connected to this positive lead of the second LED, and the negative lead of the second LED is connected to the negative power supply. So here's the completed unit. You can see I've routed the wires so that they don't touch each other, and melted these into the PLA with the soldering iron. So they're kept solidly. I use this adjustable power supply to power all my lights. This has a 12-volt wall wart. Let's plug it in. It's running at 11 volts, a little hard to see. And let's see how this looks like in the dark. To install each station, I first need to pour a plaster foundation to support it. First, I built a box out of 3 layers of Woodland Scenic paving tape. This brought it up to the level. Notice that this is outside the rectangle of the base support. Next, I put down some masking tape to protect the surrounding areas from plaster. I mixed up some plaster Paris using 2 parts of plaster to 1 part of water and mixed it thoroughly, and allowing it to sit for a minute or 2 after I mixed it. Then I poured the plaster in the mold and leveled it with a straight edge. This is what it looks like when I screeded it off. Notice that it doesn't have to be perfect, since it will be underneath the base of the building. The plaster is dried overnight. Pull up the tape. As you can see, the Woodland Scenic paving tape comes up with it. Landing block I made by gluing some 100 grit paper to a small block of wood. Not too bad. It's about the way I planned it. This is cracked a little on the edge, but that's okay. This part will never be seen. Now I'm going to mark the hole for the wires. And drill out the soft plaster. So I want to build up a edge here. Soak it with isopropyl alcohol and then drop on scenic cement. So here's what the freight station looks like from the one side and the other. Since this station serves as both not only a freight station but also a passenger station, I put down a little bit of a platform there. That was made out of thin balsa wood that was scribed with a pencil. Okay, for the passenger station, I've already poured the concrete base and added some ballast on the side. And I've put down some double-sided sticky tape. The hardest part is pulling up a corner. I just use a sharp edge and sort of tease it until I get it pulled up. Pass the wire through. Make sure it's lined up properly and push it down. And there you have it. Oh, forgot the chimneys, and I need to touch up the base a little bit. And here's what the passenger station looks like from one side and the other side. As always, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos on the Conejos Valley Railroad.